Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Trump calling Chris Christie a fat pig, among other things. And you said next Trump will tease anyone who wears obvious makeup, pillowy shoulder pads to hide tiny baby shoulders, and hilariously self-satirical hair helmets.
You know, his suits don't get enough attention as being one of the most ridiculous aspects of Donald Trump. I mean, he's an allegedly a billionaire. All right, so a billionaire should be able to afford suits that actually are tailored to his, shall we say, sack full of potatoes body.
Right.
And so, but he's got these really narrow shoulders. It's a Trump family trait. Don Jr.'s really narrow shoulders. So Trump wears these giant shoulder pads. I mean, just like the epitome of, I don't know what, 1980s women's fashion. Just
the women's power, the 80s power shoulder pads
in there. Yeah.
Enormous shoulders and no uterus shoulder pads that we used to wear in the 80s to prove we were power women.
But of course they're not tailored to his body, so they just seem to be slouching over and falling off. It's like the shoulder pads constantly need to be readjusted, but he never does.
No.
This is one of the things, one of the many things I notice about his awkward appearance.
So I just love that his normal tricks aren't working. Our friend JoJo from Jurors says, I can't believe, I'm sorry, Judge, our client can't make your hearing this Friday because he has a hearing the night before for one of the other crimes committed against the United States he's charged with committing. Didn't work. So, she's like, nope, Friday. Yeah. So,
Friday. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean,
it should be interesting.
Both Andrew Weissman and Allison Gill both say next week. Georgia indictment coming next week, it appears. Andrew Weissman says this is a subset of the federal 1-6 case, but it is federally pardon-proof. And that's what we were just playing Dan Abrams saying, she doesn't need to bring this indictment. When have you ever heard that about any normal criminal? It's like, you don't need to charge him on the state level too. It's like, what? Yes, you do. You need to charge wherever the crime happened, right?
Right. Well, remember not too long ago, everyone was going, oh my God, he's never going to be held accountable for his crimes. The justice is never going to happen.
Now it might be over accountable, Bob. It might be too much.
Well, exactly. Well, now we've got a line of prosecutors as though they're at Disneyland and they're lining up for Splash Mountain. It's just this endless queue that zigzags back and forth, and it's all filled with prosecutors carrying indictments. And so it's a wonderful thing to have to wait in line, for people to prosecutors to have to wait in line, grand juries waiting in line.
Airplane.
It's like a deli. Just take a number.
Yeah.
Exactly right. That's exactly it. Right? Yeah. They're all standing there eating black and white cookies, just waiting to get in. Waiting for
Have a
turn.
black and white and just be patient. Jeff Tiedrich said, holy... Donald Trump's ace team of parking garage lawyers whined to Judge Chutkan that they were too busy to see her this week, and Judge Chutkan just replied, see you at 10 a.m. Friday. Judge Chutkan is not around. Nope. We are just so effing here for it.
It's going to get more entertaining, Stephanie, because last night Donald Trump vowed to keep talking irrespective of whether he's hit with a gag order. He's going to keep going.
Yeah.
His big sweaty mess. He's going to keep talking and talking and talking. He's going to get himself thrown in jail.
Yeah. And I thought I read this wrong, but no, this is exactly what he said. At some point, Joe's going to have to say, this son thing just isn't working out. This son thing isn't working out too good. First of all, says the father of Don Jr. and Eric, but oh my God, that's clearly a reference to his first son dying of cancer. And, and Hunter having, some legal issues. I'm like, oh my God, he really is getting, he's just out and out calling Chris Christie a fat pig. He's like booing the women's soccer team. He is every horrible villain rolled into one like horrible orange hot dog casing. Like,
plus, Don Jr.'s on coke.
Right, so yes, is he? I have heard that, Bob.
He said it once.
Don Jr.'s on coke.
There it is.
But so I have no idea which side of the divide you fall on this Aileen Cannon, whether she is just this incompetent or she's just so blatantly like trying to help Trump, or she's trying to get herself recused because she knows he's going to get convicted and his base is crazy. What do you think it is?
Oh, I'm landing squarely in the incompetent category on this one because it's very clear. I mean, she's exposing what? She exposed a secret grand jury inadvertently in a filing the other day. That was smart.
Well, I don't think it was inadvertent.
I don't think she's doing. Yeah, I don't think this is deliberate. I mean, other than giving some sort of knee-jerk deference to Donald Trump, the guy who appointed her. Every time I hear complaining about Judge Chutkan in Washington, D.C., I was like, "What? Have you not seen what's going on in the Southern District of Florida with Judge Eileen Cannon, who might as well just be Ivanka? I mean, they might as well just say, okay, Eileen, sit down. We're just going to bring in Ivanka, and then she's going to take care of all of this."
Yeah.
But actually, Ivanka might not even be as deferential to her father as Eileen Cannon has been. So maybe that's not a good metaphor for switcheroo. Right?
Yeah, you're right. She may already have cooperated along with Jared, if Michael Cohen is to be believed. Andrew Weissman brought up something keeps nagging at me as well. Grassley deserves far more scrutiny. Goal on 1/6 is replace Pence, who was, quote, being too honest, and replace him with Grassley, like the prior Trump plan for DOJ Attorney General. Why did Grassley say, I'm going to preside, Pence won't be here? I mean, clearly this was part of the plot, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to maybe eventually hear something more about that aspect of this conspiracy. And just while we're talking about this, I just want to emphasize, because I've just been blown away by how incompetent John Lauro has been, one of Donald Trump's attorneys. Yeah. Just blabbing on TV, confessing to Donald Trump's crimes on TV, like he did on Laura Ingram's show last week. Yeah. On the very day Trump is arraigned for conspiring to muscle Mike Pence into, overturning the results of the election, disenfranchising millions of Americans by bringing up this false slate of this fake electors thing. And so he goes on television that night on Laura Ingraham and says, "Oh yeah, we conspired. John Eastman, Donald Trump conspired with Mike Pence to try to get the election overturned. Yeah, that happened.
That he just pled not guilty to hours." Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the crimes. It's just the way the statute is written. If you conspire, even though you don't actually carry out the conspiracy, even if you conspire to do something like that, that is the same as actually carrying out the end result or the end game of the conspiracy. And so that's one of the 4 counts that Donald Trump is charged with. And thank you, John Lauro, for giving Jack Smith and his prosecutors a confession. Yeah. And by the way, everything John Lauro said on Laura Ingraham, admissible in court.
By the way, you don't even need
huzzah.
Well, I was going to say you don't need the sound on your TV, but you want it for Laura Ingram's voice because it's so
it's so soothing.
You shouldn't have said that. But I was saying you don't even need to have the sound up, Bob. You can just tell by who the sweaty ones are. Who's winning and who's losing. Trump's so sweaty last night. Right. What's his name? The John Eastman's lawyer, incredibly sweaty on Ari Melber. Mm-hmm. So
Trump was so sweaty. I was like, is he having a heart attack? What's going on with him? He was just drooling with sweat. He was like Albert Brooks in broadcast news.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday. Meets Robert Hayes in Airplane, almost.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So if they cut away to the crowd, like people are running up with blow dryers trying to dry off Donald Trump's dripping face. I can't even imagine the poor, low-paid Bedminster employee who has to launder Donald Trump's underpants.
Reminded me of the old Louis Anderson joke. I'm sorry I'm sweating so much, but if I don't, I'll explode.
Yeah, right.
It's baked ham everywhere.
Such a thankless job. What do you do for a living? Oh, I launder Donald Trump's awful, disgusting clothes at Bedminster.
Yeah. So this you commented on. This you actually need the visual because he's so weird. But the continuing implosion of Ron DeSantis' campaign, it's just, it's so much fun when all the right people fail miserably. But this is... Okay, it's hard to explain, right? Because he opens his mouth in a weird sociopath way and wipes his face, and then he smiles. Then he does that horse laugh,
Yeah. And that mouth, you can fit 3 tennis balls in that mouth.
You can.
I swear to God, they should try.
I've tried
those pictures of those dogs with the 3 tennis balls in them?
Yes. Yeah. He's like a golden retriever, but not as smart. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, here it is. This moment.
Your poll numbers behind President Trump have been pretty substantially behind. And you
not here.
It's the weirdest laugh.
He is seriously like the last thing you see before the trunk closes. He has that.
It's like that. There's that video of Melania reacting to Donald Trump where she laughs and then he turns away from her and then her face just goes back to going, Oh my God, who
I
is
hate
this
him.
monster? That's the same thing that happened to Ron DeSantis. He does this laugh and then immediately transforms back into looking sullen and morose. It's such a strange thing.
And serial
Plus,
killing.
of course, then the 3 tennis balls you can stick in there.
Oh,
So
by the way, and also this tweet: Florida now has an outbreak of both leprosy and malaria.
Yep. And Melania.
And Melania.
The Florida Surgeon General is an anti-vaxxer. The state has no effective health plan. It seems DeSantis is succeeding in taking his state back to 1890.
yeah, that's right. Biblical times. Yeah, Buzz Burbank on my show said the other day that, that gif of Bugs Bunny sawing off Florida and it's floating away? Well, now it'll just fall off. And just,
From leprosy.
Leprosy, right. That's a leprosy joke.
It's like
It
America's
would've killed
toe.
2,000 years ago, I'm telling you.
Oh, I love you, Bob Cesca. I'm going to go download your podcast to get on my bike and listen to now.
That's an excellent idea.
I know, isn't it? All right.
I approve. Yeah, that's a great idea. BobCescaShow.com is the
Cesca.
Patreon page.
Yes,
yes.
not to be
Yes.
confused with Chesbro. That is the coup
Cheesebro.
lawyer.
Oh,
Cheesebro.
Ken Cheesebro.
Cheesebro.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah, how
they were
about
talking
that?
about the pronunciation on MSNBC
How about the memo
last
where they
night?
wrote down the entire crime for us? Wasn't that that was helpful?
Yes, in memo form. Thank you so much, Ken Cheesebro.